That's a good ball for Peter Weir. Now Aberdeen with McGee making the break and Hewitt waiting in the middle. Yes!
Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you and supported, as it always is, by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental, and also by Craig International, a truly global procurement company with 10 offices strategically placed all over the world to service your procurement needs, from Australia to the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Europe and America. Feel free to get in touch via their brand new website. Tomorrow, the Dons return to Pittodrie. After getting thumped in midweek by Celtic, we're looking to get back to winning ways and to try and create a gap between third and fourth. Kick-off tomorrow at Pittodrie is 1500 hours in the UK. So let's have a quick look at the table as it stands. So this is live. So this with Celtic and St Mirren currently drawing 2-2. Rangers getting beat again today. So Aberdeen on 41 points. Hibs just behind us and Dundee United, who are currently fifth. So a win tomorrow, and we'll obviously know how the Edinburgh Derby has gone because they kick off before us. So a fantastic opportunity to try and put a little bit of daylight between us and them. If Celtic win tonight, I understand they only need to win 4 more games and they wrap up the championship already. So there we go. We'll keep an eye on that, see how we're getting on this evening. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Welcome to the show. How are you? I hope everything is well this Saturday evening as we count down to kick off ahead of our game against Dundee United tomorrow at Pittodrie. This is an important game for us because we need to bounce back. And a little bit later, I'm going to be speaking to North Sound Sports editor Dave Galloway about the sort of test that Dundee United are going to offer us, because Dave watches Dundee United quite a lot, so he's very well versed to talk about the sort of test that they're going to offer us tomorrow. So I'll bring that to you a little bit later on. I'm going to predict the team news as well. I've made a couple of changes for the team that started against Celtic, but I do think that this game is important because last time Celtic thumped us, we went on that remarkably, ridiculously bad run of games where we didn't win in 14. And I really hope that what happened on Tuesday at Celtic Park won't have the same desired effect starting from tomorrow. So what I'm hoping is to see a newfound strength, inner strength, to be able to bounce back from that defeat and kick on. Really kick on. Because there were signs at Celtic Park that for me were hugely encouraging. Dundee United will obviously be a completely different test. I think they're going to park the bus and try and hit us with long balls over the top. That's what I think will happen. Be interesting to see if Mats Knurstas is fit. I think he will be. The manager said in his press conference, I've got a snippet from his press conference in a moment for you, that he's back training. So I fully expect him to start tomorrow. So while we're on that subject, this is the team that I'm kind of hoping will start tomorrow. So I'm going to go with Dimitar Mitov back between the sticks. I'm going to stick with the same back four that started against Celtic. So Alexander, Kersters, Mats, and Jack McKenzie. I've made a change here. I would prefer Ante to start to give us those legs and a little bit more energy. I think Nielsen will also start the game. It could be a toss-up between him and Shinza. That's what I think will be up front, same as basically the game against Celtic. So that's what I think will be the starting 11 tomorrow. And if I'm being brutally honest, that's the team that I'm hoping will start tomorrow. So we shall wait and see. Obviously, get in touch. Let me know what your team is and let me know how you're feeling ahead of the game. And obviously what I'll do is I'll read out as many of your comments tonight as we go along. Match stats for you. So Aberdeen have only lost one of their past 15 home league games against Dundee United, and we're unbeaten in our past 7 at Pittodrie. But since Christmas, no side has lost more games or scored fewer goals in the Scottish Premiership than us. Sunday's meeting, believe it or not, will be the 100th league match played between the two sides at Pittodrie. The man in the middle is Don Robertson, and on VAR is Andrew Dallas. Right, so let's get Dave Galloway on. So Dave and I spoke yesterday, actually, after he went to the press conference at Pittodrie to see what Yimmy had to say for himself. So we just had a fairly decent chat about the game in general and the sort of test that Dundee United will offer us. Welcome to the show, Dave Galloway. Hi, Dave. It's great to see you as always. It's been a wee while, so thank you for jumping.
It has been.
I know you've been at
No
the press
problem.
conference today, so we'll get onto that in just a moment. But first of all, I'd like to start the chat about Dundee United and about Jim Goodwin, because obviously the controversial goal that was not given, that now has said should have been given, which obviously would have put a completely different complex to the game. I'm just wondering if he's going to use this against us in his team talk ahead of Sunday's game. What do you think?
I've absolutely no doubt, Ali, that that will be the case. There must be a real burning sense of injustice in that Dundee United camp. I was actually at the game. It was a very good match. United got off to a brilliant start. Hibs pegged them back just over 10 minutes later. Then it looked like Dalby had headed United in front again. From my vantage point, it looked like a good goal. There was this ridiculous VAR delay. It took about 4 minutes. It seemed to take about 40 minutes, to be honest. It just seemed to take forever. And then nobody seemed to know what was happening. And the referee called over both captains. And then eventually it transpired that the goal had been disallowed for a handball. It has since been shown that that shouldn't have been disallowed. Well, Coleman has said it shouldn't have been disallowed. Now, that was a crucial point in the game because, of course, United went on to get beaten 3-1. There was other fury that was not VAR related just before Hibs went 2-1 in front. United were adamant they should have had a corner kick. A goal kick was given to Hibs. Hibs went straight up the field and scored a quite brilliant goal to go 2-1 ahead. And then the icing on the cake in the 100th minute, getting their third goal, Hibs. I have no doubt that that will feature prominently in Jim Goodwin's team talk. Just channel that frustration and that anger and go out there and get at Aberdeen.
Yeah. What sort of test do you think they'll offer us on Sunday, Dave?
I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen of Dundee United. I think they will offer a stern test, Ali. They're a solid side. They've got that threat up front, of course, haven't they? And in Dalby, Aberdeen are really going to have to watch him. He's the top goal scorer in the Premiership. He scored one more this season in the top flight than Daisen Maida. And that is saying something. Yeah, they're a very professional, well-organised team. And with Dalby, if you don't keep him under control, if you don't keep an eye on him, then there could be problems. And let's make sure that Aberdeen are really watching themselves with long throw-ins as well. Because if you remember, United's 94th minute winner against Aberdeen at Tannadice last time the two sides played, that came from a long throw, didn't it? So
Correct.
let's hope Jimmy's been working his players on that. There have been signs that Aberdeen are looking more solid defensively. I think you just have to discount the Celtic game because apart from that, I think Aberdeen have looked pretty solid.
You were at the press conference for the game at Pittodrie. What sort of mood was Yimmy in?
He was, Jimmy was just Jimmy, wasn't he?
Doesn't give
Never
much
too,
away, does he?
Yeah, never too high, never too low.
Yeah.
I mean, when everybody was on cloud nine after beating Rangers in October, he was just dead level. After, during the horrendous run that Aberdeen went on, he was dead level. And he was the same. He was very calm, but he's got an aura of confidence and calmness about him. And, I can see exactly where he's coming from. It may sound a bit odd, after getting beaten 5-1 by Celtic, but Jimmy said that he felt that there was a more of a kind of solidity, an organisation about the team.
Yeah.
And I can see the underlying trend, even if you take the the Celtic result into consideration. Yeah, Aberdeen are looking better, more stable. That was the phraseology that Jimmy used. So that is encouraging. But we just need to get back on track, and you have to hope that 5-1 defeat doesn't derail Aberdeen so spectacularly as the 6-0 defeat
Yeah.
at Hampden earlier
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Okay, I know he keeps things close to his chest, but I am going to ask you anyway. Was there any indication of any early team news, anything at all from him?
None whatsoever. We did ask him, who's going to be in goals, etc. Is it going to be Doohan? Is it going to be Dimi Mitov? And he was giving nothing away, keeping his cards close to his chest. I mean, if we'd asked him if it was Friday, he probably wouldn't have given us an answer to that. He doesn't. He's a lovely guy, but he gives absolutely nothing away.
I quite like that about him, Dave. I got to be
Yeah.
honest. I know it's not easy for you guys, but I kind of quite like that about him.
Yeah, he doesn't come up with, some managers come up with these phrases, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And it sounds great, but then when it doesn't happen, you look a bit silly. So, in Jimmy we trust, definitely. In Jimmy we trust. And I tell you, I'm very, very heartened to see that the fans are still very much with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Even after the 5-1 to Celtic, I didn't see much negative reaction at all on social media, which is good to see. It's a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely spot on. Dave, as always, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on. Enjoy
Cheers,
your
Ali.
weekend, and I'll see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right,
See
fella.
you soon.
Bye, mate. Dave Galloway. Thanks so much, fella. Here's the manager.
No, but that's why I talk about the whole season now. Like, we want to grow as a team, and to be competitive, you have to be consistent. And that's a journey you should have to do as an individual and as a team. And I think when you're building something, it can be a little bit up and down sometimes. We have been a lot of movements on players this year. Trying to implement some new parts in the way we play, how we train, but still the player is doing his amazing job in these circumstances and pushing. So we have to keep pushing. I think the team is more stable now, so we are ready for the last 10 games now and be consistent and take on the challenge.
My thanks to the football club as always for providing me with those pictures. If you are going to the game tomorrow, don't forget to pick up your copy of Red Match Day. Looking rather splendid on the front is Alexander Jensen, superbly designed by Dolly Digital and as always brilliantly edited by Malcolm Panton. Award-winning Red Match Day. Right guys, let's get you on. Let's see what the crack is. Oh, can you see? Right, Gordon Keith Ritchie says, good evening. All we need to play well tomorrow and take our chances. As we all know, United will park the bus and try to win 1-0. Every game is now a cup final and make third ours. Come on, you Reds. Graham Gibbs said, last two United games have been awful, decided by late winners. Not expecting silky football tomorrow. Wonder how well the pitch is holding up. Barry Cool says, good evening, Dandies. Looking forward to tomorrow and closing the gap on second. Kaiser's on, saying hi. He says it's a must-win tomorrow. Angela Hamilton is also on. We need to pick ourselves up and take our chances tomorrow. Sheep on Fire says, huge game tomorrow. Need a win and preferably a draw in the capital. Come on, you Reds. Barry, I don't know how many tickets are sold for the game, actually. Roddy Keenan says, evening dandies, 3 points tomorrow and bearing down on second place. Kirstine is on. How are we doing? She says, let's get back to winning ways tomorrow, please. We need to beat United. Come on, you Reds. Scottish Godzilla big fan says, hi everyone. Hope you got your singing voice for tomorrow. Come on, you Reds. Robert Fowler says, I've said it before, Morris needs more time than the last 10 minutes. He's the only one that aims for the byline to cut it back. Unfortunately, even our forwards can't keep up with him. Michael Taylor's on, wishing everyone a good evening. He's asking for 3 points tomorrow, as is the Mad Ferret. We can do the Matalan Catalans the morn, he says. Martin Smith says, United will park the bus, so don't expect an exciting game. It's going to be a scrappy affair, he thinks. Hugh Burns is on, wishing everyone a good evening. Kaiser says it's about 17,000 tickets sold for tomorrow. Bruce Strother says, tomorrow's a huge game. A win is essential for the race for third. Neil Mazon, wishing everyone a good evening. Graham Gibbs says, Ali, it's a massive game for us as our post-split matches could be brutal. Musical Box is suggesting that we need to beat Dundee United or we can forget third. Norman Baker says, we're making more chances but we're not scoring enough. It would have been very different if we'd been 2-0 up against Celtic, as we should have been. I'm sorry, but Nisbet is just not cutting it. Bruce Struthers said, Palaversa must start. Best midfielder we have. We can't start with both Shinnie and Nielsen. 3-2 to Celtic, is it? Let's have a wee look. Yeah, 3-2 to Celtic with 7 minutes to go. James Brown said, a very good morning from Seattle. A win tomorrow will kick us on. Surely need to create a gap between us and fourth. Come on, your Reds. Bruce Strother says, Mittoff to start as well. Best keeper that we've got. Michael Taylor says, agree, Ali, with your lineup. Apart from Urkels starting, I would have Morris in for me. Scoor says, I agree with your selection. Feel Shady Mo must be close to another start, though. United threat is Dalby, supplied by overlapping wing-backs, Strain and Ferry. Their crossing stats are very high. Stop the balls coming in and Dalby won't score on his own. So while we are on that subject, he is actually the player that I've picked out for us. Where did I put it? There he is, Sam Dalby. Right. So he is my guy to watch tomorrow. So here's his stats. So far, senior goals, 12 for Dundee United. He's made 22 starts. Don't forget, he's the Scottish Premiership leading goal scorer. This is where we have to be careful because his aerial duels won. He's won 99% of them. So I think they're going to play the long ball tomorrow and we have to be careful of this. Shot attempts at goal sits at 46%. But I thought this was quite interesting. He's not actually had any assists during the games, but his chances created for himself are 54%. So we're going to have to be very careful with him tomorrow. So he is my man to watch. Musical Box says, I think you may have picked the team that actually starts, Ali, for a change. Make a pleasant change, eh? Kirsten says, agree, Ali. That's my starting 11 as well. Hugh Burns says, 1 game a week now until May, so Mittoff must start every game. Lorraine Baxter's on, wishing everybody a very good evening. Where have you gone? I've lost you. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? There she is. She says, stating the obvious here, but we need the 3 points tomorrow. Bruce Strother says, what do other Dantes make of Urkels? I'm not convinced so far and think Shady Mo does more in his usual 20 minutes cameo than Urkels does. Lewis Johnson says, only positive I took away from the Celtic game was Jimmy not subbing on Ambrose and giving Boyd a run out. Hugh Burns said, stuffed in United, long ball merchants. Kaiser says, if Goodwin plays negatively tomorrow, we'll win. If he'll attack us, it could be a tough game. There's a few of you talking about Urkels. Like Graham Gibbs says, not convinced going forward, but assume Talene plays him for his defensive side, offers our left back a lot of protection, crucial against the way United play. He didn't on Tuesday night, let me tell you. Chilling is on, wishing everybody a good evening, as is Lorraine Baxter again. I thought Urkels did okay against Killy. Cracking goal, even if it was offside. Ian Barron says, hi Ali, hope you're doing well. Hope we keep it tight at the back. Uday and Nisbet up front. I think that's a partnership I think could work really well for us. Come on, you Reds. Kaiser says, in his last game at Pittodrie, Goodwin instructed his team to camp in the second half. We were toiling in the first when they attacked us. Do you remember? Martin Smith says, centre-halves need to be solid and watch for the long ball over the top. We need to move it quickly through the midfield and have a shot. Hope they've been practising that after all the scuffs on Tuesday. Ah, come on, leave Dave alone. Hello, hell, that's not fair. Hugh Burns says, Ali, I'm still raging about Gordon Park's comments on PLZ Soccer the other day. Left Yimmy without a name, savaged him. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but that was a totally unbalanced rant. I didn't hear it, Hugh. Neil Strachan is on. It says, good evening, Ali. I think Aberdeen will win 4-0. He's going with Shady Mo, Papi, Keskinen and the bag to score the goals for us. Nicola Beaton is on. Come on the Jambos tomorrow, she says. Lee Begg from China's on. How you doing, Lee? She says, hi, Ali. I'm glad you're to join your stream. Missed them recently. Glad you're on. Raymond McCombie says, win for us and Hearts. That would be great. Celtic are now 4-2 up. Kaiser's asking, is Tubas all right for tomorrow? So the manager says he's trained and he should be absolutely fine. He will definitely be in the squad. Sheep on Fire says, pretty confident our players will be up for this one. Big 3 points. Take our chances. Hugh Byrne said, hosted the stadium tours at Pittodrie. 20 people attended and they were a pleasure to deal with. That's brilliant, Hugh. Good to hear. Sorry guys, just bear with me while I just have a quick look. Roy Thompson says, I think 4 wins and a couple of draws from 10 would get us third. Standards are poor, just need to focus on ourselves. Barry Cole says, we've got to remember that Ukos hasn't played much football. Raymond Steele quite simply says, come on your Reds. So, why don't we just take a short break in the chat? Let's not forget, if you're enjoying the show tonight, please don't forget to like. Thank you so much for all your comments. Keep them coming in before we finish off tonight. And as I always say this time of night, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're now over 4,200, which is brilliant. Edging ever closer to 4,300. And thank you to all of you who have recently signed up to the membership scheme as well. Simon Roy, thank you. I know that you renewed your membership scheme very recently, so thank you so much for doing that. The membership scheme is just an opportunity for you to support me financially here on the channel. It's just a small subscription-based thing that YouTube set up to help people like me. And everything that is made from the membership scheme goes right back into this channel to help make improvements. And I'm hoping that you've seen the improvements over the past few weeks. Plenty more still to come. Joe3 Haribo says, sup, folks. Let's just have a quick look, see if there's anything else going on. Right, I think we are just about done because it looks like that's all the comments that have come in for just now. Lee Begg says, I think Urkels is good. Okay, right, so tomorrow. No watch-along show because it's being shown on a television station tomorrow. So we'll be back on Monday for the review show. Andrew Budge and I will take you through the analysis of the game. So as always, this time of night, at this juncture in the show. We always wish the lads the very best of luck. I really hope that the team have not been overly affected by what happened on Tuesday night. And all we have to do tomorrow is just, if we can start against Dundee United how we started against Celtic, I think we'll be okay. The crucial element to win tomorrow's game, and I'm stating the bleeding obvious here, is for God's sake, lads, take your chances. It's all about fine margins. We all know that. Just take your chances. Give yourselves a cushion and you'll be absolutely fine. If they're going to park the bus, just be patient. Work your way through the transitions. Work your way through the final third. Be creative. It's not rocket science, is it? One last look before we say goodnight. Musical Box says anyone will do. Roy Thompson's asking, anybody know when Pulvaret will be fit? So he's back training. He's back training. Sheep on Fire says, 3 home matches in March must work in our favour. Hugh Brown says, 3 points tomorrow, imperative, any which way. There we go. Right, guys, so thank you so much for being on. And I hope you've had a really good Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. If you're going to the game tomorrow, please travel safely. Have a fantastic time. And I'll see you again on Monday. Take care of yourselves. Stand free.